say, what are you looking so sad about, Jeff?
I'm surprised at you. I mean, I'm really insulted. I mean, that's not right what you just said.
What do you mean, what I just said?
I mean, I'm getting a drink of water. I'm late getting home, but you talk. I said something about the greatest heavyweight champ, man. I'm a hometown man, and you talking about Joe Louis, man. Joe Louis wouldn't be nothing for me. Joe, I tell you, Joe, do you think you would have stood a chance with me?
Well, Clay, one time during my career, I was on a Bum of the Month tour.
Bum of the month. I would have been a bum compared to you.
Damn. Man, I was in the back all that damn time, man. Mm, mm. Thank you, Al Booger. I didn't add myself to the damn stage. Lord have mercy. Hold on for 1 minute. Okay, let's go back to the fight of the day, because nobody heard anything. Thank you, Al Booker. I never added myself to the damn. No wonder the damn thing saying zero. All I heard was music. I was wondering, zero. Christmas. Oh, Lord have mercy. This Cass ain't even listening. Oh, I've been on here for like an hour. I never added myself to the stage. Thank you, Al Booker. That's crazy. Okay, so let's we're not going to get through Pascal now, but let's look at the fight of the day, which was Floyd Mayweather and Zab Judah. Okay, let's do the fight of the day. Okay, yeah, that's why I had zero. Everybody left; they couldn't hear. I was saying, "Damn, zero." You had people in the chat zero. I was like, "Damn, these have at least 5 or 6." Yeah, I wasn't added to the screen. Wow, that's crazy. I could have sworn I had done that. I guess you got to keep an eye on that. Okay. The fight of the day is Floyd Mayweather versus Zab Judah. Floyd Mayweather versus Zab Judah. Everybody probably gone now. That's crazy. I did add myself, but I guess you got to keep an eye on it because this StreamYard, I guess it dropped me out or something. That's the first thing I always do. And I distinctly remember hitting the button to add myself to the screen. Now, how I got back in the back, I don't know, but some kind of way I did. That's crazy. I guess you just got to keep checking it. Some kind of way I fell off. Okay, let's do the fight of the day. Yeah. Yeah. I thought Miss Cass was my other device, Al Booker, but apparently she wasn't listening. She would have told me, I guess. He come in and say hello and then I guess drop off. Yeah. Yeah. That's true. That's a good idea, Al Booker. Mike Rim, salute. Yeah. Yeah, we're gonna start out with the fight of the day. Okay? Because I was not on screen. That's crazy. But I remember adding myself. But I guess because I guess you can drop off. But the fight of the day, Floyd Mayweather versus Zab Judah, which was titled Sworn Enemies Go Head to Head. Floyd Mayweather, Zab Judah. Sworn enemies go head to head. Okay, let's do that. April 18th, 2006. Mayweather versus Judah. Okay. Now, boxing has always been able to create superstars, even if those days seem to be slowly drawing to a close. Only time will tell whether the sport can still see a prize fighter through to the realm of megastardom. But Floyd Mayweather Jr. may be the last of a dying breed. Even so, his path to the apex of contemporary pugilism was an often complex one, and stardom didn't catch on right away. It's just that the second half of his professional career was so loud and brash, what came before seems forgotten. Yeah, the second half was loud and brash. Yeah. Yeah, I'm laughing at myself, Mike. That's crazy. I'll talk for a whole hour. I wasn't even on the damn thing. Almost an hour. Okay. So Floyd built a career in the usual way, climbing the ranks and defeating several good or even great fighters, collecting belts and staying undefeated. By April of 2006, Floyd's legacy was impressive, but not so outstanding as to allow him to become a breakout star at that point. That month, he took a necessary step towards becoming a full-fledged sports celebrity when he tangled with Zab Judah, a talented underachiever who sometimes threatened to rise to the occasion. Yeah, and there it is. Sworn enemies go head to head. Floyd Mayweather, Zabduel Judah. Yes, his full name, Zabduel. Zab. A decade before this, in 1996, Floyd and Zab attended the same Olympic box-off tournament in Augusta, Georgia. The outcome proved a microcosm of their respective careers and how each dealt with adversity. As Floyd moved forward by dominating an opponent who had narrowly beaten him once before, while Zab was pushed out of Olympic contention by a second loss to eventual lightweight champion David Diaz. Now, Zab demonstrated excellent defense and athletic ability, but he didn't punch enough to vanquish Diaz. And after the decision was announced, Zab went over to complain bitterly about his loss to reporters. And his father, Yoel Judah, chimed in stating that Diaz is not in our league, but Diaz made the Olympic team and you are an alternate. So yeah, he's not in your league, but he's on the team and Zab is not, right? Now, Floyd may have fallen short of an Olympic gold in Atlanta, but it was by a controversial decision. And the last time he ever lost in his career, right? That loss in that Olympics, last time Floyd ever lost. It was Zab who needed the lesson, and Diaz let him have it. But it never sank in. Maybe his father Yoel got in the way. Now, though Zab would wound up an Olympic alternate, he was left off the team, while Diaz made the squad. But Zab still get a free trip to the Olympics. You know, the alternates get to go too, you know, in case something happened to them. Like Joe Frazier, 64, was the alternate, and he ended up competing in the Olympics when Buster Matthews got hurt. And Joe won the gold medal coming from the alternate position, right? So yeah. Floyd and Zab's careers traveled along similar trajectories in the pro ranks. They won their first world titles within a few months of each other, although 10 pounds apart. And Floyd was on HBO, Zab on Showtime, right? Now, both men possessed blinding hand speed, surprising punching power, and bewildering defensive skills. It wasn't until Zab was knocked out in 2001 by Cassius Tszyu, subsequently throwing a violent hissy fit in the ring, that it became apparent these were two very different fighters. Floyd stayed nearly flawless from 130 to 140 pounds, while Zab moved to welterweight and lost to the division's tricky champion, Corey Spinks. Yeah, and that's Zab and Carlos Baldomir there. This fight almost ruined the Floyd-Zab fight because Zab ended up losing, right? But this is what happened. They kept the Zab and Floyd fight on track. But yeah, he fought Baldomir in between the Floyd fight, and he lost it. And it almost messed the Floyd-Zab fight up. But a title has a funny way of drawing attention, though. Floyd hadn't ever talked about fighting Zab, his friend, until the possibility of championship involvement became a reality. In February of 2005, Zab seized a handful of welterweight belts in violent fashion by stopping Corey Spinks in their rematch, and in doing so, he became a target. Now, prompt defense by TKO over Cosme Rivera came in May, before Floyd entered the equation. Okay? So, headlining his first pay-per-view event against Arturo Gatti in June, Floyd performed a surgical execution of one of boxing's most beloved warriors in 6 one-sided rounds. Yeah, that was a beatdown over Arturo Gatti. Over 350,000 paid for the fight, confirming Floyd's arrival as a major attraction and nudging him toward welterweight, a division with a better track record of creating stars. But Zab's promoter, Don King, gave Floyd one more reason to put on weight when he issued a press release inviting Floyd to move up and challenge Zab. It should be noted that at the time, Floyd fought for King's longtime rival, Bob the Bobfather Arum. And that's one thing about Don King and Bob Arum. They didn't like each other that much, but when it came to making that money, they got together and made the fight. Because back in them days, just about every top name in the sport was signed to one or the other, right? And they put their differences aside when it came to making their money and made the fight. These promoters nowadays can learn something from them too. They didn't care about those sides of the dispute or none of that nonsense. Bob King, but the Bobfather and Don King was about making money, okay? And they put their fighters in there and made the fights. Now, sometimes your mouth can write a check your ass can't cash, pointed out Floyd to an interview, going on to remind Zab of a sparring session years earlier where Floyd apparently got the better of the welterweight champion. Now, the comments both sparked a feud and jump-started negotiations. An agreement was reached in December, securing a fight to take place after Zab's defense against Argentinian Carlos Baldomir. Okay? So, Floyd crossed the line of disrespect, Zab said. There ain't gonna be no nice guys out there. There's a lot of money involved, and both of us need it. This is the fight the world wants to see, but first I have to annihilate Mr. Carlos Baldomir. Yeah, Zab kind of overlooked Baldomir. Yeah, Zab Super Judah. Booker, that was him, Zab Super Judah. I believe he got in the Hall of Fame too. I think he did. Yeah, Zab really underachieved, Al Booker. He could have been a lot better. Him and a lot more notoriety, a lot more attention than his name should be bigger than it ended up being, I think, yeah. But he took Carlos Baldomir lightly, and it almost derailed the Floyd fight. Now, Baldomir had no interest in that plan, though, and he battered Zab, taking an upset decision win in the linear welterweight title. This is what saved the Floyd fight, though. But political shenanigans prevailed when Zab retained the IBF belt due to Baldomir's failure to pay their sanctioning fee. Though Mayweather was no longer under any obligation to face Zab since he lost, the prospect of winning a belt in a fourth division, however, bogus, was too enticing, and the promotion moved forward as a pay-per-view event, albeit with purse adjustments. Yeah, purse adjustments, now Zab got beat. But if Baldomir had paid those sanctioning fees and took that IBF belt, then Floyd wouldn't have been interested in fighting Zab. But he wanted to get a title in another division, fourth division. That's the only thing that saved the fight. Because Baldomir didn't pay the sanctioning fees and Zab kept the IBF belt. That's what saved it. Other than that, we would have never even got Floyd and Zab. Because Zab lost that fight. He overlooked Baldomir, they got beat. Yup, he sure did. But luckily, Baldomir didn't pay the sanctioning fees, so Zab kept the belt, and Floyd wanted that belt. That would have been his fourth weight division. In one of the final pre-fight interviews for an event dubbed Sworn Enemies, Floyd said, "This is not Kostya Tszyu. This is not Corey Spinks. This is not Baldomir. He's facing the best pound for pound. I'm at the top of my game. This is Floyd's called it. The fight was called Sworn Enemies. Floyd called it Flawless Against Jawless. Flawless against Jawless. So, those were almost famous last words, as Floyd not only failed to test Judah's jaw early on, but ate a right hook himself in round 2 that caused his glove to touch the canvas. Remember that? In the second round, Floyd's glove touched the canvas. That stumble should have been scored a knockdown. In his last major title fight, referee Richard Steele flubbed the call. But more importantly, Zab, a 5-1 underdog, built momentum in the first 2 rounds with a higher work rate, comparable speed, and a tactical approach that Floyd appeared to have not anticipated. Zab was possibly the first man that ever fought Floyd that was faster than him. Yep. Now Floyd adjusted and walked Zab down in round 3, cutting off the ring and finding a home for lead right hands, a version of Floyd that didn't appear often, above 135 pounds. But Zab wasn't done, and he caught Floyd with several sharp lefts in round 4. It had been a while since anyone had built even a small points lead over Floyd, but it was the Olympic box sauce all over again. Floyd was going to find a way to win, and Zab was going to find a way to lose. Floyd was going to find a way to win, Zab was going to find a way to lose. And all hell was getting ready to break loose. That's what happened right there when everybody jumped in there. Let's talk about that. And Roger Mayweather was telling Floyd just about after every round, watch that, MF. He's going to do something dirty. And Zab sure did. Went dirty when Floyd started dominating. The chaos did break out. We're getting ready to get to that. Now, Floyd reached the champion with a volley of right-hand leads and hooks over the top in round 5. And from there on, Zab was forced to the ropes more and more, relegated to mostly defending the precision shots coming his way. Zab's nose and mouth were bloodied in the 7th round, and after round 8, Yoel Judah begged his son to stop talking trash and just fight. But how could he, when Floyd was killing his body at every turn? Zab's nose bled freely, and in the 9th round, the contest evolved into a beatdown. Yeah, Floyd started dominating him in the 9th round, and that's when Zab got fed up. After absorbing punches for another round, a desperate Zab reached down and nailed Floyd below the belt. And then when Floyd bent down in pain, Zab hit him with a rabbit punch in the back of the head. Okay? Yeah. Okay, Mike says, this is crazy. They're doing an ice raid right in front of me. The Spanish family that live across the park. Crazy. Wow, yeah, it's wild, ain't it, Mike? Damn. Yeah, I haven't seen one of them yet. Man, that is crazy, Mike. Yeah, that's the Donald Trump's United States. Yeah, we're in trouble. And he ain't even trying to have no elections next year. Because they know they're going to lose, so he ain't even trying to have. We might not have no midterm elections, so yeah. Well, that is crazy, Mike. Wow. Okay, let's move on. That's the Donald Trump's United States. But yeah, Zab got dirty. Floyd started to beat him down, so he hit Floyd with a low blow, and then Floyd bent down in pain, and Zab hit him in the back of the head with a rabbit punch. Okay? So referee Richard Steele called the timeout while Floyd hobbled over to the ropes. But Roger Mayweather, Floyd's uncle and trainer, jumped into the ring and went after Zab. And then Zab's father, Yoel Judah, jumped into the ring. Then Leonard Ellaby jumped into the ring. Then everybody jumped into the ring, sparking a huge brawl that spanned the entire ring, right? It had to be broken up by security and the police. The order was eventually restored and the fight resumed, but not without the sheen of cheap drama. It came to be attached to Floyd's name thereafter. But Floyd didn't start the brawl. Zab hit him low, right? But anyway, nonetheless, Floyd stayed focused and picked Zab apart in the final 2 rounds, cementing a wide decision victory and a trinket around his waist at welterweight, 4th weight division for Floyd. That one was, yeah, that was his 4th weight class. It was a lot of fines and suspensions. Floyd, the only one, didn't get a fine or suspension because Floyd was in too much pain to fight. Mike says, gave me a flashback when they kicked my dog, my door in back in the day. Oh man, they kicked your door in, Mike. Wow, man, what was going on in there, Mike? Yeah, man. Yeah, this is crazy times we living in now. We gotta buckle down, and it's gonna get a whole lot worse before it gets better too. It's going to get a whole lot worse before it gets better. Yeah, Floyd was in charge after like the 5th round. He took over the fight. But for their parts in the brawl, Zad, his father Yoel, Roger Mayweather, Leonard Ellerby, all had their licenses revoked and were fined by the Nevada Athletic Commission. But the defeat to Floyd marked the beginning of a significant win for quite some time, right? Later in that year, Floyd answered the criticism he received for going through with the Judah fight by defeating Baldomir for the lineal title. Though not in an entertaining fashion, but it didn't matter because the path to realizing his stardom didn't have to be bloody or vicious for Floyd, so long as it was intriguing. By then, he had walked away from Bob Arum. He had paid his way out of that contract by then, him and Al Heyman. Pretty Boy gave way to Money May, and a huge showdown against Oscar De La Hoya was just around the corner. Yeah. That was the fight of the day. Floyd Mayweather and Zab Judah, won by Floyd. And it's 10 after 3. There's no way we're gonna complete this profile on John Pascal. Wow. Very interesting. Let's see. But we'll start it. Monday's trilogy is going to be Floyd Patterson and Ingemar Johansson back from the early 60s. All 3 fights ended by knockout. Yeah, that was a crazy trilogy. Floyd Patterson went down like 7 times in the first fight. And then he knocked Ingemar Johansson out in the second fight, then knocked him out again in the third fight. But that's our trilogy Monday. Floyd Patterson and Ingemar Johansson. But yeah, I'm gonna run through this Pascal real fast. And we're gonna get through this one. The life and career of John Pascal, that's today. Yeah, like I said, it gave him a flashback. Okay. John Thunderstorm Pascal was born October 28, 1982. He was a Haitian-born Canadian pro boxer, and he had the WBA light heavyweight title from 2019 and 2021. And he had the WBC, IBO, Ring Magazine, and lineal light heavyweight titles from 2009 to 2011. And he challenged once for the WBC super middleweight title in 2008. Okay. Now Pascal fought in 3 divisions in his career. He fought at super middleweight, light heavyweight, and cruiserweight. He was 5 foot 10 inches and 10 and a half inches tall, had a 72-inch reach. He fought in the orthodox stance. He had 45 total fights in his pro career. He won 36, lost 7, had 1 draw, 1 no contest, 20 by knockout in his career, Pascal did, okay? Let's look at his early life and amateur career for John Pascal. Early life and amateur career. Okay? Poor John. Now, he was born in Port-au-Prince, Haiti. When he was 4 years old, his mother, who was a nurse, and his older brother, Nicholson, left Haiti and settled in Laval, Quebec, just outside of Montreal, Canada. Now, his father was a well-known, respected politician. He stayed in Haiti. Now, Pascal played hockey and soccer as a youngster, but after watching his older brother become the Quebec boxing champion in 1996, Pascal, at 13 years of age, started to visit the club champion St. Michael boxing gym once or twice a week. His first trainer was Sylvain Gagnon, who considered Pascal to be very talented at boxing. And according to an interview from May 2005, Pascal's idol was Roy Jones Jr., and he represented Canada as a middleweight at the 2004 Olympics in Athens, Greece. He didn't medal, but he was in the 2004 Olympics in Athens. But he did win a gold medal at the Commonwealth Games in Manchester, England in 2002. That was leading into that Olympics, right? Won against Paul Smith. Okay, let's go to his pro career with John Pascal. He started out as super middleweight, okay, early years. And made his pro debut in February 2005. After 9 wins, he won the Canada National and Quebec Boxing Council super middleweight title, the CQB, in a national fight against Martin Desjardins, winning in round 7. After 2 more fights, Pascal won the TAB, Trans-America Boxing title against Darnell Boone. And he boxed Lucas Green Arias in September 2006 at the Montreal Casino for the vacant WBC Latino title. And he sent Arias to the canvas with a flurry of punches in the 6th round. Arias got up for the final seconds of the round, but moments later, he fell off the stool in his corner and was vigorously rubbing his head. And he was unable to get up for the next round. So that made Pascal a winner. Arias was given oxygen in the ring, and then he was taken to the hospital on a stretcher. And it was revealed that he suffered a subdural hematoma, some kind of brain injury or something. Subdural hematoma. That's the one that I don't think this guy died from it, but remember that card from the Monster when his second undisputed in December 2023. I think that was what the Japanese fighter on that card died from. Yeah. He suffered a subdural hematoma, then they put him in an induced coma and he never came out of it. But I don't know. They didn't say this guy died, but he suffered subdural hematoma, which is a collection of blood gathered between the inner layer of the man. You got to be a doctor to read all that. Let me go back to where I was at. I was trying to see what it was, but wow. Something to do with some kind of brain injury, though, yeah. Like a blood clot up there in the brain somewhere, subdural hematoma. I think that's what it is. Isn't it a blood clot up in the brain? Yeah. Well, let's continue with this. Okay. Yeah, but that was he won the title in that fight where the guy suffered that. Okay, so we're gonna jump through this because I had started it, but I wasn't on the screen. So let's go to his first big name fight, which was called Froch. Okay, that was for his first title shot, called Froch. Okay, we're gonna jump through because I talked for the first hour. I hadn't even added myself to the stage. Boy. Yeah, I think that's him called Froch right there. But that was for his first title. First world title shot against British boxer Carl Froch, for the vacant WBC super middleweight title, December 6, 2008, in Froch's hometown, Nottingham, England. Now, Pascal held his own, with both men consistently targeting each other throughout the fight, but Froch won a hard-fought, exciting fight, which had many close rounds by unanimous decision. 116, 112, 117, 111, 118, 110. And him and Froch became close personal friends after that, and they promised to face each other again in the near future. That's what friends do, make the money together, okay? Then he had one more fight after that, and he went to light heavyweight, okay? And he won the light heavyweight title against Pascal. Moved up in the weight to the light heavyweight division to challenge the WBC light heavyweight champion Adrian Duaquanu on June 19, 2009 at the Bell Center in Montreal, Canada. And he won the light heavyweight title on that night. Okay? He defended his title for the first time September 25th and was successful again in doing that. And then his next biggest name opponent after Carl Froch was Chad Dawson. Here we go. Pascal versus Dawson. Yeah. Pascal versus Dawson. That was his third title defense. He fought Chad Dawson for Pascal's WBC light heavyweight title and the vacant Lineal and Ring Magazine light heavyweight titles. He dominated the early rounds and worked well in the middle rounds, but seemed to tire late and frequently got caught by Dawson, who was favored. Dawson came in favored, but Pascal won the fight by a TKO partway through the 11th round due to an accidental headbutt, right? That caused a major cut over Dawson's right eye and was stopped by the ringside doctor. But Pascal was way ahead on the scorecards, okay? 108, 101 on two cards, 106, 103 on the other. And that led to the two, he fought Bernard Hopkins in back-to-back fights. Okay, yeah, back-to-back fights. He went up against B-Hop. That ain't B-Hop. That's B-Hop. Yeah, back-to-back fights against Bernard Hopkins. B-Hop was 25 at that time. Following his upset of Chad Dawson, he faced 45-year-old Bernard Hopkins, was named as his next opponent, and he made $1.5 million for both of those fights, right? That was the highest that any fighter from Canada had got paid up to that point, $1.5 million. Now, him and B-Hop ended up having a draw, right? So that led to the immediate rematch between them, the second fight. And in the second fight, B-Hop ended up winning the second one by, I believe it was unanimous decision. And I think the second fight was when B-Hop became, I believe he was 46 by then. That's when he broke George Foreman's record of 45 to become the oldest world champion in history. Then he fought Kaziemski and Lucian Butte, in which he won both of those. He was slated for a unification fight with Tavoris Cloud. Well, no, he had lost the WBC, but he was slated to face Tavoris Cloud for the IBF light heavyweight title, which would have been his second title. But Pascal hurt his hand, so that threw that fight off. But he came back in December 2012 against Alexei Kuzievsky, won the fight by wide unanimous decision. Then he fought Lucian Butte, won both of those fights. Okay. Then, next biggest name after Dawson and B-Hop was Kovalev, and he fought Kovalev twice. Okay, Sergey Kovalev won. It was announced on December 23rd, 2014, the unified world champion Sergey Kovalev would defend his titles and fight Pascal on March 14, 2015 for Kovalev WBA, IBF, and WBO World Light Heavyweight titles at the Bell Center in Montreal, Canada, live on HBO. Now, Kovalev had just been named Sports Illustrated's 2014 Fighter of the Year. Kovalev started the fight off aggressively, as usual, and took control of the fight earlier and eventually knocked Pascal down in the third round. Now, Pascal began to fight back and showed some signs of life in rounds 5 and 6, although Kovalev gained control of the fight again and began to hit Pascal with huge shots, wobbling him. And in the 8th round, the referee stopped the fight as he felt Pascal had taken too much punishment. Pascal felt the stoppage was unfair and demanded a rematch. At the time of stoppage, Kovalev was leading 68-64 on all three judges' scorecards. Okay, so on May 20th, they did have the rematch. Yeah, he felt it was stopped too soon, so he demanded a rematch. That ain't it, though. So on May 29th, it was announced that Pascal would fight on the Kovalev versus Mohammadi undercard at the Mandalay Bay Event Center in Nevada on July 25th against the undefeated Cuban prospect, Yunieski Gonzalez, 16-0, 12 knockouts. Okay, so he won that fight. That's when he got the Kovalev 2. Okay, put on the Kovalev undercard, won the fight, got the rematch with Kovalev that he wanted because he felt the first fight was unfairly stopped, remember? Because the referee felt he had taken too much punishment. Okay? So he got the rematch. Yeah, they went to help Pascal in the rematch with Kovalev. On December 5th, 2015, it was announced that the rematch between Kovalev and Pascal was set to take place on January 30th, 2016 at the Bell Center in Montreal on HBO. Pascal was pumped for the rematch, stating it would turn out differently to the first fight. I put him down in the 8th round in the first fight, but the referee called it a slip. But I promise you that Kovalev is going to have a full plate in the rematch. I'm going to have a new trainer. This time he had Freddie Roach. Pascal had Freddie Roach for this fight. He did not have Freddie for the first fight. He said, I'm going to have a new trainer, and I'm going to teach him respect and to respect Canadian boxing fans. In front of 9,866 people, Kovalev dominated the fight, both outpointing and outlanding Pascal by wide margins. Kovalev won when Pascal's trainer, Freddie Roach, refused to let his fighter continue after the 7th round. The time of stoppage, the scorecards had Kovalev up 70-62 on all three cards. And so Pascal couldn't say nothing about the referee this time because his trainer stopped it, right? His trainer stopped it this time. Pascal versus Ramallo. Yep, couldn't cry. Freddie Roach stopped it, who was his trainer. Pascal announced he would fight on December 16, 2016 against 33-year-old journeyman Ricardo Marcelo Ramallo at the Cogeco Amphitheater in Torres Rivera's, I guess that sounds like France or something, I don't know. But Ramallo challenged for the vacant IBO International super middleweight title in 2015, a losing attempt. Okay? So he ended up winning this fight. Then he fights Alvarez, not Canelo, Elito Alvarez. April 15, 2017, announced that Pascal would fight Colombian Elito Alvarez He was 22-0 coming into this fight. This was for the WBC silver light heavyweight title. On the undercard of Stevenson's world title defense against Von Ferrer at the Bell Center in Montreal, Canada. And the event was scheduled to be shown live on Showtime and was confirmed on April 21st. Now, Alvarez outboxed Pascal, winning a majority decision after 12 rounds, right? One judge scored the fight a draw, but the other two had it 117, 111, 116, 112, both for Alvarez, who ended up losing that one. Pascal versus Abieli. Pascal versus Abieli. What's up, Thomas Hill? Yeah, Thomas Hill. The first time you came in, I had to add myself to the stage, man. Did the whole hour of the show, nobody could hear me. Wow. And everybody left. Man. Al Booker finally told me, said, all I can hear is music. Yeah. So we're not going to get this Pascal thing in because, yeah, this lasts at least an hour and a half, and I started like an hour late. But, yeah, Tom Pascal was the profile today. Yeah, but he fought in 3 divisions: super middleweight, light heavyweight, and cruiserweight. Right? Won titles at light heavyweight. I don't think he won a title at cruiserweight, but he did go up to cruiserweight. Then he came back down to light heavyweight. He had some big fights though. He fought Dimitri Bivol. Mm-hmm. That was right around the time when Bivol was. This was in that what year that was, but it was a good fight between him and Bivol. 2018 when he fought Bivol, and that was a pretty good fight. That was when I looked at that fight and I was like, no. And when Bivol was even to fight Canelo, I looked at the Pascal fight and I was like, this ain't no cherry pick here. And I'm thinking Bivol might win it, but I'm just worrying about the scores, but they actually give it to Bivol against Canelo. And then they tried to take it 115, 113, remember? That fight was not that close. So yeah, that's why I didn't pick Bivol. I was worried about the scoring. But I saw him fight I looked at that Pascal fight just before the Canelo fight. I went back and watched that and I was like, no, this ain't no cherry pick here. Because that was a tough fight. Him and Pascal. Yeah, let's talk about that one. And that might be the last one. Because, yeah, we're not going to get it in. Because I messed up and didn't. But I added myself to the screen, but I tell you, this thing, you drop off. Al Booker gave me a good idea. So, put it up on the phone, too. So I can monitor it, you know? But stuff happens. Shit happens. Right. Yeah, but that Bivol fight they was battling, him and Pascal was. And I was like, nah. Canelo might think he got a cherry pick, but this boy Bivol ain't no cherry pick. Not at all. Let's see. Oh, wait a minute. Let's go there. I'm going to look at this, then I'm going to drop the link after this Bivol. Pascal versus Bivol. Okay. Let's talk about that one right quick. Because that was a good fight. Okay. If I can get this off the screen. You had them days. Okay. Let's see. Pascal versus Bivol. Bear with me. There's Pascal versus Bivol. Now, on September 23rd, Yvonne Michael announced that he had reached a deal for Pascal to fight Canadian cruiserweight champion Gary Kopus in Sydney, Nova Scotia on November 9th, 2018 in a 12-round fight. Now, the fight with Kopus was canceled in early October after Pascal's father suffered a heart attack and died. Now, Pascal needed time to attend the funeral. On October 16th of that same year, 2018, wait a minute. On October 16th, it was reported that Pascal was on the verge of returning to light heavyweight to challenge WBA champion Dimitri Bivol. On November 24th, 2018, now Bivol was initially in talks to make a defense against Joe Smith. However, Smith accepted a fight against IBF champion Artur Beterbiev in December instead. Later that same day, the fight was confirmed and would be televised by HBO. Pascal lost by a wide, unanimous decision. Bivol's right hook was established early in the fight, repeatedly hitting Pascal and knocking him off balance. Bivol saw it just taking a toll on Pascal and became even more aggressive, landing body shots and leaving Pascal attempting to defend and not throw back. The home crowd tried to cheer on Pascal. He had a good fourth round, but Bivol quickly reasserted his dominance. The judges scored the fight 119-109, 119-109, 171-11 in favor of Bivol. And I just got finished talking about how good the fight was. It was a good, tough fight. Damn it. It was. But yeah, that was the life and career of John Pascal today, okay? Yeah, I'm not gonna be able to get the whole thing in because I had talked for like an hour and wasn't even on the screen, so stuff happens. Let's see. The link is in there. Okay. So, and then after Bivol, he fought Marcus Brown. He won that fight against Marcus Brown. Yeah. Beat him. I can't find the daggone cursor. It is. Yes, him. He knocking Marcus Brown down right there. See. Mm-hmm. But yeah. And then after Marcus Brown went up against various fighters. But his final fight was against good. There's somebody. Thomas Hill. What's up, Thomas Hill?
What's going on with you guys?
Oh, not too much. Yeah, I added myself. You gotta watch this thing because StreamYard dropped me off. Some kind of way I got kicked off. That's the first thing I remember adding myself to the screen. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like an hour, man, and wasn't nothing but music going on.
Yeah, I try to shoot the text. I try to call you first and then shoot the text, but
Yeah.
I
What's
do have
happening?
a three. I have a 319 number, so you know it ain't gonna get answered.
Yeah. What's happening though?
Nah, just saw the link, so I decided to hit it.
Yeah.
Had a late night. I didn't get much sleep. I was up, as you can see. I stayed up all night, man. That's how I was able to catch Jay. Because usually I'll be waking up real late because I get home late.
Yeah, I was in there today. Yeah.
Yeah, so I was able to catch Jay. It was good to hear him for
Yeah.
as long as I was able to stay up.
hmm Yeah, I was yeah, tomorrow. They keep the bounty hunters fighting tomorrow.
Yeah,
Somebody, yeah, that'll be a good fight. That's what they say. I don't know too much about the other guy he's fighting against.
not, not too much about him, but I mean, it should be an entertaining fight. The fights have been pretty decent. I mean, there have been some that haven't been that good, but for the most part, they've been pretty decent. You know,
Yeah.
the sad thing is like when there a certain promotion, you know, depending on which side of the fence you try to ally yourself with,
Right.
you get opposition and criticism. So I mean, I don't try to do that. I think that you know it's been some pretty good fights by a lot of promotional companies, and some of the fights that you just see, you know, exceeded what people thought. Some pretty nice cards coming up too. So I mean, it'll get interesting.
They trying to
You
make
know?
their Boots and Virgil, but seem like Boots side the only one doing the talking. You never hear nothing from Golden Boy. Like they not too
Well,
excited about the fight or something. But nobody never say anything about that.
we gotta because like I said, once again, Boots has been allied
Yeah.
with the
Remember,
PBC. So
he
therefore,
wasn't even in the same division with Virgil. They was calling Boots the dog.
yeah, well, they're gonna do that for one. The thing is, like, if you look at the timeline, first thing is he was trying to get Bud, and that fight
Yeah.
never materialized. And then, like, you know, at the last second, I guess a fight was up, but they wasn't on the same, I guess, timeline, and it didn't happen. So you know, you got the people who are diehard Bud fans that they're saying one thing. So you got that movement against him. But like I said, the ultimate thing with Boots is that he's been aligned with the PBC, and because of that, he's going to always catch flack.
Yeah.
If you notice that, like every fighter that's with the PBC, they're going to catch flack for some form or reason.
I know.
And unfortunately, we do that with a lot of things. Case in point, like I'll say this, and it's mind-boggling. A person that is affiliated with the PBC can say, or even somebody from the PBC or the network where they broadcast it can say something, and it's totally hogwash. But a person from another place can say something, and it's truth.
Yep.
It's
And
true.
how long
Whatever.
has PBC been going bankrupt, T Hill? Remember? They've
For
been
the
saying
longest
how many
time.
years they've been saying that, about 20.
But for the longest time, case in point, like money. This thing with money, like the PBC is broken. They ain't paying their people. That's what it is right now, because you know whatever's going on is not giving them a lot of venues and a lot of fights, right? So therefore, the narrative is they're growing bankrupt, and they don't have any money to pay. And now the thing is, will Turkey get you your biggest bag? There was a person who fought for Turkey. Immediately after fighting for Turkey, he went out and got in trouble trying to take something from somebody or someone. So, like, if they're really getting life changing money, all the way around, why would that be the case? If he took that fight, why would he need to take from somebody or something? You wouldn't need to.
That's a myth about Turkey.
So you know, it's a myth about everything because nobody's inside. So nobody knows how the PBC is playing their fighters. All we can do is say that, you know, we can go by what the fighters themselves are saying. And the fighters themselves are saying, like, hey, one thing about this person, we get our money, and on the top of that, you know, they tell us how to make our money even last longer. So we know that the fighters are happy. Now the thing with Tank is a different situation because he just all over the place, and people don't know how to get a bead on that. So what they're going to do, because he's the biggest star for the PBC, is say that he's disgruntled with the PBC. He ain't got no contract, and this and that. I don't know what's going on with the young brother. I really don't. And I hope all is well. But I mean, it's not enough information for me to just label the whole corporation as bust and not paying their fighters. I don't have that. Just like one person or two people or three people getting money from Turkey says everybody's getting that money. I'm pretty sure they're getting more than what they probably would get fighting elsewhere. I'm pretty sure that is the case. But I don't think they're getting like serious money like everybody else believes they is. Now maybe certain fighters are. Maybe certain fighters are because they are star power.
Like everybody ain't getting the type of money paying Canelo and Bud.
Well, don't know fighter get the Canelo money. No fighter, and that's including like Bud, Spence, and all those type of fighters. Tank, they don't get that money, but I mean, I'm pretty sure there's some people over there that's getting a lot more money than the rest. But like I said, that's not my concern. My concern is the product that they put in the ring, and unfortunately, a lot of people like to go beyond that. It's what you put in the ring, and thus far to this date, ever since they've had that change, that switch over from Showtime, the cards they have done, how few they have been very good. They've been very good cards. Likewise, there have been some very good ESPN Top Rank cards. And now it's interesting to see what Top Rank does with the new venue and the new vehicle that they're going to use to promote
They'll be televising Top Rank fights now.
Yeah, they won't talk about him because it's not Al Heyman. It's not the PBC, and that brother is the corporate complexion, so he'll never catch that scrutiny. But now they're with Amazon or something like that. So now or Netflix. I think they're with Amazon or Netflix, one of those two. So we'll get to see how it looks for them. But I'm hoping that everything is a smooth transition for them, and I kind of trust that it will be, because they got an interesting product that they got to offer. Same thing for everything else. I do have my criticisms for Eddie Hearns because of the way he did certain fighters. It seems like he doesn't have a true chord for the fighters that I really am endeared to. Like I like Jalil Hackett. I like Bud. I like Boots Ennis. They're not getting the kind of treatment that I see him give Conor Ben or Anthony Joshua and the rest of his fighters. So I have a little issue with that and some of the things he said, but I mean, I'm not totally against anything he puts out. But see, that's what I'm saying. I'm not biased as much as these other folks is. Sure, we all have our own biases, but I can look at the fighter and I can look at the format that they fight for and have respect for it. And I'm not going to have people who talk negatively about other folks or so inordinately, glowingly about their folks to change my opinion about them and the other ones. And that's what we are on these channels every now and again, man. We have people claiming that they're not really mad at the fighters. They're mad at the fans of the fighters. What does the fan of the fighter got to do with the fighter? You can separate the two. You should be able to separate the two.
Yeah.
So with that being the case, man, I'm hoping that whatever we see this weekend is going to be some good work, some great fights, and, some people get some eyes on them that they deserve. And hopefully more eyes will be upon them so that they can probably get the pay that they deserve, because a lot of these fighters are not getting paid a lot of money.
Not at all, man.
And that's even on turkey cards. They might get more than where they can get because, they're trying to more so build their, what you call that over there, where you get people to tourism.
Right.
Yeah, they're trying to build that more so than anything. So they're trying to make sure that, people come over there and see some good action, because they're trying to build up that ecosystem that they have over there for entertainment and vacation and things like that. So people come on.
No boxing or none of that nonsense, though.
But you know they have given us some good boxing. Not
Yeah,
like everybody else has
everybody
said.
else. They have
Everybody
given us
said
good
it's,
cards. Yeah,
yeah, exactly.
yeah,
And
took
you
it
know,
over though. You know,
there's some people who say they give us the fights we want to see. Well, there's some fights over there that would have been really good. Some fights that I really wanted to see, and there's some fights that I haven't wanted to see. But that's everywhere.
he
You
didn't give
know.
us Canelo Benavidez, just like nobody else could give it to us. If he was
Well,
so taken
yeah,
over boxing, how come Turkey didn't make that one?
yeah. Well, I'm pretty sure he tried. I'm pretty sure a lot of people tried because that's a
Right.
money market.
That's all I'm
But
saying. He ain't taking over no boxing. He just,
yeah,
give us good cards, but just like everybody else is.
that fight's going to require Canelo. Canelo's going to have to be willing to say, okay, now I'm ready to fight him.
I don't think we get it. At one time I thought we was, but now I don't think so. I don't think he's gonna fight.
Well, I mean, we might not get it. We might not. I hope we get it because it's a big money fight for them, but also it's a good fight for those who are really into the fight game and really want to see the transitioning from one king to a new king within that culture. So hopefully, but I mean, if we don't, man, I'm not gonna be upset. I'm gonna be a little disappointed. It's likewise with the things that's going on with Tank, man. I'm not too happy the fact that there's a Jake Paul fight instead of a Roach fight or a Shakur fight. I'm hoping that we still get the Roach fight, the Shakur fight. I'm still hoping that we get the Devin fight. Now it might not be. It might be a long shot, but I'm hoping.
Yeah, Devin. But like you said, you made a good point the other day. If he can fight Jake Paul, he can fight Devin because Jake Paul ain't bigger than Devin.
You would think if he can fight Jake Paul, then I know it's not going to be a full-fledged fight.
Make it a catch weight,
But hopefully we get it. And it don't have to be for belts. It could just be for okay. We got to silence some critics. We got to show who's really.
Don't have to. People ain't even that. The fans not even that worried about belts anymore. Most people I've talked to, they're not worried because there's so many. You don't even know who got what belt anymore.
Well, so many, and it's not like you deserve some of these belts. Like case in point, the Rolly fight with Ryan, that wasn't even originally for a belt. They made it for a belt.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So like, those things kind of like take the tarnish off of the belt a little bit. Now there's still respect for belts because for the most part, the belts do give you prestige and they give you a little bit more boost in pay.
Yeah, but you see a prospect with 5 fights standing in the ring for belt over show.
Yeah,
what kind of belt he got?
And like you said, belt holders. Most people are belt holders instead of champions, or they went and they earned it. And then when you do earn it, they'll find a way to discredit you if you don't have a great performance. So
I know it's crazy, ain't it?
It's crazy, man. So the thing is, like, people get taken advantage of in that ring a lot, and they're people, and they don't like to be talked negatively upon. It impacts. If you were somebody and somebody was talking bad about you, it's going to impact you. It's very few people who have thick enough skin where they don't care what you say about them. They're just caring about whatever they do and what's going on with them. But a lot of times they do feel for the
But for me, Canelo Benavidez, Boots Virgil, Tank Shakur, the Monster. What's the guy at 118? We want to see that fight.
Oh, Nakatani.
Monster Nakatani. None of them ain't got to be for belts.
I just want to see the fight. I just want to see them go.
They don't even neither one of them have to have a belt. But back in the old days, now the belts meant something because there wasn't that many of them.
Yeah, and that's another thing too. Like you said, Kaz, there's so many of them that everybody has a belt, and because everybody has a belt, they don't have to fight one another.
That's right.
They can maintain that belt.
They don't mind sharing it. Sharing the championship. That's crazy.
So yeah, you're right about that as well too. And it's like all these things we got to take in consideration. And ultimately everything is up too. So the thing that you really have to get up, unfortunately, is your money, your pay. So if I'm going in there and I'm risking life and limb, I'm going to try to make sure I get the best I can get and the most I can get. And I'm not mad at these fighters for wanting more for the look, because sometimes it's the look. Just case in point, and I always use Devin, man. A lot of people have a negative perception of Devin now because of the Ryan fight. And
It's one fight.
it's one fight, and it's a fight where he constantly got back up. He constantly got back up. And in doing so, he got no respect for that. But the people will talk a
But
lot.
it did look like it affected him in his next fight too, though. Like he was a little gun shy against the fight he
Oh,
just had.
My man Al Booger said, didn't the
Yeah,
WBA?
I asked you about that. Yeah. You know about that, T? What Al Booger was talking about?
I believe they tried to elevate him, but he said he didn't want to.
Okay.
Because another thing, I think also with these distinctions may come a little bit more bump and pay that you got to pay out.
That's right. That's true. Yeah.
But I mean, like I said, it's nice if you have that distinction, because now you can fight the big fights, and that's what it was supposed to be. But it is confusing, Al Booger, and I mean,
Yeah. And when you're moving up, having that belt do help you to just go up and immediately get a title fight too, don't it?
yeah.
Your rankings
So
affect
when
your
you
rankings. You got the WBA at 135, that will affect your rankings when you move up to 140, right?
it gives you that ability to skip
Yeah.
the process.
So that
So,
helps in that way, But
but
it
like I
is
said,
confusing.
it's seriously confusing, and everything is confusing because you can pay for your ranking. You know what I'm saying? You can pay for your course in which you're going to navigate to a belt.
Mm-hmm.
Everything really is about the proliferation of cash flow.
Yep. Look at that guy, T.O. What was his name? Steve something?
Steve Claggett.
He was 15. Then all of a sudden he was in the top 10 after T.O. signed the fight. You remember that?
Yeah, I remember.
Magically, he went from 15 into the top 10.
Without a fight. And nobody ahead of him lost.
Nope.
So how does that happen? Well, it happens because, the powers that be have.
Yeah. All of the money.
Yeah. So that's what it is, unfortunately. And that's what it's always been. It's just even more so now because it's up in our faces and the money is so much greater.
Yeah.
And the inflation of it is so much higher now. So all these things come into play. And then you got people who put their feelings into other people. Like, it's crazy. But it is what it is.
Yeah, they are. Some people take it too personal. Yeah.
Extremely too personal, man. And they start attacking other folks, attacking fighters. And it's crazy. Talking bad about people.
Like a maniac and all that.
Yeah, well, I'm guilty of that. I'm guilty. I am guilty of that because the Haneyeites, I know for a fact the Haneyeites, the Shakurians, and the Cinemaniacs, those are mine. Now, Tankamaniacs, I didn't come up with. Buttercup, I did not come up with. And Aerosexual, I didn't come up with.
Oh, yeah, the Earl section. Just started the Earl Bud situation there, the Earl section.
Yeah. But people do they go too hard over these fighters, man. The nicknames are crazy. Shout out my man BN Boxing News, the boxing pharmacist.
What's up, BN Boxing News? Then you got the content creators that do it, T.
Yeah, well, some of these content creators are on pay. They on payroll. You know what I'm saying? Hey, just case in point, we got a. You said what?
So they got their talking points.
Yeah, and they have to push it out there because you're not getting paid to do it. So I understand what they're doing, and I recognize it, and I choose to stay away from it. But there's also people that are just in chats that getting paid to do what they're doing now. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So they call them bots, and some of them are paid in iron hands. But the thing is, man, that's not going to help influence me one way or another about the boxer. What helps me be influenced is what I see in the ring.
That's it.
And that's all I use when I talk and discuss the boxing. Like, I see this, and this is why I think that.
Or sometimes, like like this thing with Jake Paul, I don't like that. That's
Not at
outside the
all.
realm. Yeah, some things, you can't go with, you know.
Not at all. Yeah, I definitely don't like that. That's not
Yeah,
from something that I would
that's right.
preferably enjoy. But I'm gonna tell
And
you
Jake
this,
Paul
man.
make a mockery out of sport, man. I think.
Yeah,
Just stick
yeah.
to promoting. Stop
Did
fighting
you
people. People good promoter, but
did you did you
or fight some cruiserweight or something. You know, Jake Paul want to be in the boxing, fight a cruiserweight. You know, that's his weight class. Get a fight,
Yeah.
Apatow or somebody. Now, what just happened? I done lost. Oh, he Hillen dropped off. Look like.
I mean, somebody was calling, so that's what
Oh, okay.
happened.
Yeah.
But nah, I was
I'm saying
listening to
Jake
you.
Paul get in a division and fight somebody at his weight. He fought a 58-year-old man, Mike Tyson. Now him and Tank a lightweight fight. That's making a
but you got
mockery
to
of the sport.
understand why. But you got to
Money.
understand why, because he's trying to acquire money to make his vesting ventures more liquidable. So he's gaining assets, he's gaining cachet, he's gaining eyes. And so Mike Tyson, yeah, people want to see Mike Tyson sit me on my butt. So let's capitalize on that. Hey Mike, this is what we gonna do. Whatever you do, man,
I
don't
don't
spar
mind
me.
that one. Tank is retired, but Tank's still an active fighter holding a belt,
And,
man.
and that's a
You know,
problem. And then there's the size
that's a
disparity, which
problem.
is another problem. But the fact that
Yeah,
he can't look bad is another problem. Now, if this was a real rock'em sock'em fight,
yeah,
no, well, so you get knocked out, you get knocked out. Tank, if you get knocked out, you get knocked out. But you going in there to fight, that'd be a totally indifferent, entire story because hey,
hmm
you're not only getting paid, but hey, you trying to really show that hey, you're bad and you're better than what you think and
yeah.
what people think. I mean, so I mean, but Jake is doing what he's doing to try to acquire assets, and he needs names that will garner attention. And people talking bad about it,
hmm
they a lot of them people gonna tune in. There's gonna be some people that's just gonna refuse to tune in, and I understand that, and I respect that. There's gonna be a lot of people tuning in, and it's gonna do a lot of money, and Jake
I ain't gonna
Paul will.
lie. It depends on the undercard. If it's a good undercard, I'll watch it.
Yeah,
You know,
well,
depends on
I'm
the
telling you
undercard.
right now, if it's not on the, it is a great business plan. If it's not on the if it's not on the card right now, it will be on
Mhm.
another card pretty soon. But I'm pretty sure he's gonna try to bring Clarissa
Yeah.
aboard and have him fight Layla Ali. I said that the last time we were on, but I
I remember.
guarantee you
I agree with that. Yeah.
he tries to do that because it's something that will bring people to see. People will watch that, and that's all he
Yeah.
needs. He needs people to buy into it because it stacks their cash. And like Al Booger said, it's a great business plan. It's
That's right.
working beautifully. And I can't be mad at him for capitalizing off of what we do as people. Like it's videos being made all day that we know are fake, but people watch them every day.
I know. Yeah, it definitely brought a lot of attention.
How you doing, fellas?
What's up, Define Arnie?
What's up, Define Irony?
I'm
How you
good.
doing?
I literally just pulled up, so I got no idea what's being discussed or anything.
We just having casual conversation.
That's all. Um,
Okay.
different subjects, Last thing was Tank and Jake Paul. What do you think about that one? That fight.
I mean, I don't, I don't know. I don't know what to make of it, bro. To be honest with you.
Yeah, I'm in the
Um,
same neighborhood.
I
Yeah.
mean, I kind of rather not. I mean, there's a this weight and height disparity that I still don't understand. How are they going to make it work?
Yeah. That's a
But
good question.
you know, yeah, because I mean, I don't know. Let's see. I don't even know. I just pulled up, so I don't even know. Like I just wanted to like like piggyback on what you guys are discussing. But
I might watch
if
it just to see that how that works out. That weight and the size differential.
because I mean, what are they gonna do? Are they gonna do like some sort of like meet me in the middle type of stuff, or is Tank gonna go all the way up to what is it, 180 or whatever?
Because Jake is a big guy. He can't come down but so far.
Exactly.
Big dude,
So
man.
and is Tank gonna put all that weight and then what? What is he gonna do? Go all the way back down again? I mean, I don't see it.
So with that talking point, let's just talk about that. We've seen fighters do that, and the effect it had on their career.
Never the
If
same.
he's planning on fighting after that, he cannot do that. That wouldn't be good. To me, Mayweather is the example. When he fought bigger people, he fought at a weight that was comfortable to him. He didn't have to get to their weight. I just need to be comfortable, big enough for where I'm still
Right.
comfortable moving. So if I'm Tank and I'm going to that fight and I'm truly going to take this fight, then I'm not putting on no weight. This is an exhibition. That's what they billing it. If it's a real fight, it's still, I'm going to bank on my skill level and my ability to make him miss. I'm not going to try to go over there trying to hurt him or getting bulk. I'm not going to bulk up and do anything like that. So it would behoove him not to do that.
That's a big
So you're saying, so you're saying that he should stay in his weight and just, that's interesting, bro. Like, yeah, I think that's the best way to go here. To be honest with you,
come back. It'd be best if he's planning on coming back, and fight at 135.
But if he can stay in his weight and make it work, like man, that's a great point, T-Hill. I like it.
I mean, if you're thinking about doing anything else forward concerning, because he said 4 fights that he still was going to do. That's his recent words are, there's still 4 fights that I want to do. And if they're not all 4 exhibition style fights, then you want to make sure you don't do any damage to yourself in this thing. So to me, it's best to just come around what you're comfortable at.
Yeah.
You ain't got to cut weight, so to speak, just to make a weight. You could be at what you're comfortable and in good shape with. So instead of doing a weight cut to get on the scale, you just go in there and train and come in at that weight. That's what I would do if it were me.
I mean, don't you think that? I mean, either way, it's dangerous.
Yeah, it's dangerous.
Good to find Arnie.
No, just saying that either way, I don't. I mean, I was gonna say like, don't you think that's dangerous? But I just realized that it's dangerous either way. So it doesn't really. But I think the best way to go, as you just articulated, moving forward, is to just don't mess with your body and your weight too much because. We've seen it we've seen it with fighters that didn't put up nearly as much weight as he would have to put up. So imagine, and that were way bigger than him, Roy, etc. So
that's if he's planning on coming back. Now, if
he's planning on coming back. If he's not planning on coming back, then do whatever. Yeah,
right.
Exactly.
But just think about it. He's like closer to 5'3" than he is to 5'7", right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So with that, how can you get to 190, 180?
No way. You're gonna look like he's gonna look like a meatball.
And if it's all muscle, you're gonna be so damn swole. You ain't gonna be able to throw punches, and you're gonna tire out.
Start being fat.
Yeah. Exactly. No way.
So the only way it can be is at something that's comfortable. It's like, they cut weight to make the fight, right? Well, you don't have to cut weight. You just train.
Right. I feel you on that. It's just a money grab.
Yeah,
no doubt about it.
That's all it is.
And let me be clear about one thing. I'm not necessarily upset about the fight itself. I'm what makes me upset is like the timing of the fight. It's just.
Yeah.
I mean, I get it. The opportunities now, I understand that, but I mean, I don't know.
So,
yeah.
Is
So to
everything
me,
else?
like you said, it is timing. The only way that can even be justified is if you use this look to even create a bigger buzz for the fights that people really wanted to see.
But how can
Then you know what? It can be
Okay.
pardoned.
this T Hill? How can this make a secure fight more attractive? Fighting Jake Paul, though.
Well, because now you get more people that want to see him fight. So
Because
you know it's more.
seeing fight Jake Paul.
Yeah, so they'll just tune in because he fought Take Paul, and if he did that too, I would want to see what he'll do to somebody that's
Oh, okay.
another good fighter. I mean, it's a pipe. Everything's a pipe dream because we don't know.
Right.
But I mean, that can be a byproduct, and that would be the only thing that would make okay. Well, by doing this, he made those other fights bigger and more sellable to the people. Now, I don't know if that would
Let
be
me
the case.
respond.
Say it again.
Go ahead. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt you. No,
No, you
I
go.
think I think I could have. I wouldn't if I'm Tank. I wouldn't fight Shakur right after Jake Paul. That's bad news to me. You know,
Why not?
I would maybe take a fight and then maybe do Lamont too, and then we can talk about Shakur. You know, because from Jake Paul all the way to Shakur, I
Yeah.
don't, you know, I got a bad feeling about that. You know,
What
but that's
about
just
Roach?
me.
What about Roach? No, him. No, no big name.
Not right away.
Yeah.
Not right away. I would take one fight just
Right.
to get back, so to speak, you know, to the
Yeah. And that weight.
to the
The
level.
only way you do Roach is if you do the James Tony effect, where you're sparring like if it's real fights,
Right.
and that's
I can see
dangerous
that.
because that puts you at risk to get hurt. You know,
Yeah.
but that's the only way you could replicate a fight is if you're sparring and it's actually like you're treating it like it's a fight, and that's the only reason why James Tony was able to stay as sharp as he was and be able to be as productive as he was because he asked them to treat it if it was a real fight, so that
Man.
you know what I'm saying,
know
he
what?
could get a very good look.
Y'all know what though? You think he getting killed for fighting Jake Paul? Just think if he come back and fight a lesser name at 135, he gonna get crucified.
I know. So
back, he still ain't fighting Roach and Pura.
yeah, and you know that's the problem that he now created on himself with this fight.
Right.
You know, it was already a problem before, but you know it's going to be even worse.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That is so.
So that's why this fight is kind of tough to swallow all the way around. But I mean, it is what it is, man. Hopefully, like I said, he used this as a look to not only get paid, but also bring more light to the fights that people want to see. And I
we
hope
don't know
that
what
that's
went on
it.
in the negotiation. Jake Paul might have been like, it's now or never, you know, get the kind of money. Yeah, you won't get that.
Well, they had it already signed from what people have been saying. So,
yeah.
I mean, it was going to happen. They just had made a segue for it. All right, well, then you can get the Lamont Roach fight in if you can make it before this date. But we got to have it at this date. And I think that, you know, everything that transpired gave that window of opportunity less and less until it became no more.
Define Arnie. You know anything about this guy that Keith Hunter fighting this weekend? He's still there?
Yeah, he's still there.
Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah. I was asking, do you know anything about these fights this weekend? I don't know too many other names or anything.
I know okay, this weekend we got what do we have this weekend, bro? Like I don't even remember.
I was trying to figure out the guy he's fighting against. I don't know nothing about him.
Yeah, well, one of them is Conlon. Ain't Conlon fighting?
Yeah, I think so.
And then
over in the UK somewhere too.
Yeah, some of them. Let's pull it up. Let me pull it up.
Is it Josh Padley and Reese Bellotti or no?
Oh, I don't know anything about them two names.
Man, I was watching that the other day, and now I can't remember because I saw a whole lot of fights, like a calendar and everything, and now I got like like a whole. I'm messed up right now. I don't even remember which one is this weekend.
Yeah, there was a bunch of names, but I hadn't heard of any of them. You know, of these people that's fighting. But we getting to the big one. Do you think we'll ever get Canelo and Benavidez to fight on it? We was talking about that earlier. That
I
fight.
still, I'm glad you asked that because for some reason, for some odd reason, I still have like a glimmer of hope
That's what TO.
for that fight.
Mm-hmm.
But at this point, I guess I kind of moved on from the fight, and I kind of want to see Benavidez fight the two Russians and then
Yeah.
maybe Obetaya.
Yeah.
That'd be nice.
That's the path, that's the path for Benavidez from my point of view,
That's what I say.
That would be nice if we were to fight those.
Yeah, I want to see him fight Bivol and Berturier, at least one of them, and then maybe Akataya. Yeah. Or even Zerdo,
Yeah, he has called out Zerdo, but I don't want to see Benavidez fight either one of them before they fight each other.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Because I really want to see Zurdo or Obetaya.
Yeah.
But
right there.
But what do you think? Do you think we'll see it? Do you think we'll see Canelo Benavidez?
No,
Hill?
I don't think so. I think it's done.
I'm starting to have a little bit of that hope, that glimmer of hope fade a little bit too, but I still believe if we do see it, it'll be his last fight. His last farewell to boxing and his last big payday. But it also depends on how Benavidez carries his career too, because if it's still something that people will be interested in him for and willing to pay to see, they'll put it on as his last fight, his homage to boxing.
Canelo, 34, right?
Yeah.
Now let me ask you guys this: do you guys think Canelo is gonna end up fighting Jake Paul?
It could be. It depends on how that Tank fight goes.
Yeah,
I can see that happening. I can see that, and he said yes before. He said, he said yes before, like at his last fight and stuff, and I can see that happening. Definitely.
Mm-hmm. They was in talks, remember?
Exactly.
It was in talks at one time, so I can see it happening too. That might be his last fight.
Yeah, should be. I wouldn't mind it.
Because the way Canelo is, he's not going to fight Jake Paul while he's still active, I don't think.
No, I don't think so either.
No, I don't think so. He's not going to do that.
Like with 2 fights left or something like that, he's going to fight Jake Paul and somebody else. I don't see that.
No, he's going to wait till he's done. That will be his last fight. Or unless he do some other exhibitions, but he's not going to fight him right after Jake Paul. No.
Exactly.
No, I don't think so. It might be, Bud might be his last fight, then Jake Paul. You know that? What else do we? If Canelo beats Bud, then what's next? He done everything. He ain't gonna fight Benavidez.
That's a shame. In all seriousness, that's a shame.
It'll be.
Benavidez was mandatory for some couple of years, wasn't he?
Yeah, I felt like that for a couple of fights. I feel like a couple of fights gonna happen.
But I kind of blame Benavidez too, because he lost his belt on the scales, or
well, he did that. And then there was the one time,
Canelo would have had to fight him if he wanted undisputed.
It was the one time he didn't exercise the mandatory.
So then, if Canelo wanted undisputed at 168, he would have had to fight him because he would have had the WBC belt. Remember?
There is some blame to Benavidez for the fight not happening. I do realize that, but listen, if Canelo wanted to fight him, the fight would have happened, guys.
Yeah, most
at
of
the end of the day.
Canelo, yeah. He gets most
You
of
know,
it. Yeah, that's true.
Canelo says to Suleiman the Penguin, he says, "Listen, give me this guy. He's gonna say yes."
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I don't. But Benavides does carry some blame because if I'm Benavides and I'm looking for this fight, bro,
Mm-hmm.
I'm harassing Canelo. I'm going to his post-fight press conferences. I'm going to it. He's gonna end up taking the fight just to get rid of me.
Everywhere. Yeah.
That's how I would do it. You know, I would harass the hell out of him.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta
Yeah.
do it, bro. Like you know.
Make him fight
Um,
just to get rid of you.
yeah, I mean, make him
All of this guy.
sick of seeing you. He's gonna be sick of seeing my face. He's gonna be like, you know what? I'll make the fight just to
Right.
just to
I can see that happening. You know, Benavidez
yeah.
did that. I can see that happen. Canelo just getting fed up, say, okay, let's do it.
Right out there, grab the mic and talk some trash, bro. Get under his skin.
Yeah.
Um,
But Benavidez just said the hell with it and moved up, you know. He said hell with but he said F Canelo. Remember when he's getting ready to fight Andrade and moved up?
yeah,
He should have just like you said,
just try it.
Yep.
Try it, bro. What's the worst that can happen?
Nothing. You had to beat him up at a fight or something. If you get on his nerves too much, you know, you have to beat him up outside the ring or something. I might get fed up and swing on him. That's the worst.
Bro, if I know that I'm getting paid the most that I've ever been paid, and this guy's the face of boxing and this and that. Because Boo Boo didn't get the fight, but Boo Boo at least tried. He went to a post-fight presser and he called them out and stuff. He at least tried.
He tried, yeah.
You know?
He did do that.
But I mean, I don't know. And let me ask you this: how do you see Benavidez pulling it off against Beterbiev and Bivol, or how do you see that?
Oh man, I think they both beat him.
I think so too, but I think that I think especially I think Beterbiev is a horrible matchup. But I think it's gonna be a pretty good fight, nevertheless.
Yeah.
You know.
And I'm looking at the fights Bivol gave Beterbiev. I don't think Benavidez can handle Bivol. He ain't gonna be able to hurt him. Beterbiev couldn't knock him out. Benavidez ain't gonna hurt him. He ain't gonna stop him. And he can't outbox Bivol. No way he outboxes him. No way.
No. I don't think there's anybody that can, to be honest with you, especially at those divisions, I don't think there's anybody that can outbox Bivol.
You had to stop him.
Yeah.
No?
You're gonna have to smother him, make it ugly.
Yeah, but Beterbiev couldn't do it in 2 fights. No way Benavidez stops him. No way. So Bivol
I don't think so either.
Takes a wide decision from Benavidez. You know, I think.
The thing with Bivol is that Bivol's got that pendulum style so perfected.
Yeah.
I mean, it's really something to behold, to be honest with you. He's my favorite fighter of the present. So, I mean, outside of Bud Crawford and them, I mean, the pound for pound fighters, I leave them out. I try to. I mean, he's on pound for pound also. So, but I just love that style. I'm not gonna lie. I fell in love with that style.
The boxing dude says none of them beat Benavidez at 168 or 175.
Right.
Yeah. But you know, these people saying that Bivol was scared for the 3rd fight against Beterbiev. Why would he be scared? He fought him twice. That's crazy.
Yeah, I'm not buying it. He had back surgery, didn't he?
Yeah. He fought the man 2 times. Why would he be scared of him?
And he's the only man to fight him 2 times.
Mm-hmm.
Let's not forget about that. Nobody else even thought about getting in the ring more than once against
After
that
their
man.
first fight, nobody. Nope.
they learned their lesson after the first fight. That was it for them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Man,
you think I fight between them 2?
I hope so, and I wanted to. I was looking forward to that trilogy more than anything else, even more than Zurdo and Opetaya, to be quite honest with you.
but I don't know because back surgery. I mean, the back is something. Loma just retired because of his back, and
Yep, he
you
sure
know
did.
the back is something that is not gonna get any better.
Yeah, the back is funny, man. When you mess that back up, that
Yeah,
never gets
that's
right. That never gets back right. I don't care how many surgeries you have. Yeah, and plus, Viterbi will be what 41 next year too, right?
Yes, early next year. I think his birthday is February or something.
Yeah, so you got to take that into consideration too. That people say, well, he hasn't been in no battles, but 41 is 41, man. This is boxing.
Yeah, it's puzzling because it's looking like no, right? It's looking like we're not gonna see it, and we're just gonna be stuck with the one-on-one.
Yeah.
But I would love for that to happen more than anything, to be quite honest with you.
Yeah. I don't think we get Benavidez, Viterbi either. We might get Benavidez and Bivol, but I don't think Viterbi will fight that much longer.
If I'm Team Benavidez, I'm not. Here's my thing. There's two fighters that clearly should avoid these two fighters, if that makes sense. The first one is Benavidez should avoid Beterbiev.
Yeah.
And I do not mean this disrespectfully. It's just a horrible matchup,
Yeah.
And the other one is Virgil Bakram. Virgil should avoid Bakram like the plague.
You think that's a bad matchup for him?
I think that's a horrible matchup. I can't see Virgil getting away from that left hook.
Oh, okay.
I can't see it. You know, I can see Boots, Sander, and a few others getting away from it, but I don't see. It's just Virgil is such a. I mean, he fights one way.
Yeah, he's gonna be right there in front of you, like a Joe Frazier.
Yeah.
He's not gonna go side to side. He's not gonna back up. He's just coming straight forward the whole fight.
Exactly, and if you're gonna fight like that, you better have, that power. Otherwise, I mean,
what belt does Bakram have at 150?
I think it's IBF. I think it's IBF, but I'm not sure.
Because Virgil got the interim WBA. It might be the IBF. He got one. I think it might be WBA. He got one of the interim belts.
Yeah. He's got the one that. Oh man, I'm forgetting, but I think so, but I'm not sure. It is an interim.
Yeah. Which one does Xander have? Which belt does he have? Xander.
Is it hang on a second. Is Xander the IBF or WBA? It's IBF or WBA. It's one of the, because Crawford is about to vacate the WBC, right?
Yeah,
or is that Fundora?
Crawford, yeah. Yeah, he had one of the belts at 154. So
man, I'm all over the place.
That's up for grabs. You still got Crawford against Canelo though, right? By decision.
Oh yeah.
Decision, right?
Yeah, by a wide margin.
It's gonna have to be wide because you see how Bivol beat him, and they made it 115 and 113.
Yeah, and Floyd got robbed of a UD as well.
Yeah, and Bivol and Canelo was not no 115, 113.
No way. I mean, listen. If I'm feeling like really nice, I can give Canelo 2 rounds.
2. I had like 840. You gave him 2.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're feeling extra generous.
No more than 840.
Nah, no way. No way. His head was looking like a tomato after the fight. So
controlled the whole fight, man. From the beginning to the end. Every round, every second of every round.
And you can tell he's never seen that style before because he was so frustrated in that fight. Yeah. I mean, he tried. You remember he tried to suplex him.
Yeah, I remember that. And then he kept standing on the ropes, telling Bivol, "Come on in," and Bivol standing back, "No, you come out here."
Bro, I'm telling you.
I never seen him that frustrated. Even against Floyd, he wasn't that frustrated.
Yeah, he was really mad. Like, but I mean, what else we got, man? How come I can't remember which fight? I know it's not like a big fight or anything, but
Yeah.
man, just the other day I was watching like the calendar all the way down to November.
Is it the one Keith the Bounty Hunter is in? Keith the Bounty Hunter? I can't remember who he's fighting this weekend, but I can't remember who. I don't know anything about the person he's fighting against. You know.
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
I can't remember at all who he was fighting. But I know he was fighting somebody. The 29th, right?
29th, yes. Because I know next week is Sugar Nunez. Next week, Sugar Nunez has a title defense against a Puerto Rican fighter. I actually met that guy when I covered the Hitchens Pato fight here.
The challenge.
His name is Diaz. I can't remember his first name.
He was on that card. On that
oh
card
yeah.
Okay.
He was on that card, and here's what's kind of funny. He got robbed against another Puerto Rican.
Oh, he got robbed. Damn.
Yeah, I saw that fight and I saw him winning, bro. And I felt for him because he was saying that he was battling depression and stuff like that, and I can relate a little bit to that, and I kind of felt for the guy. But I'm happy that he's getting a title shot. You know, I'm happy for that. So
that's good. He told you he was battling depression before the fight.
Yeah, he mentioned a lot of things that happened. I think his mom passed or something like that. Something really bad, you know.
And then he went and got robbed. Wow.
Yeah, adding insult to injury, you know.
Well, like I said, at least he getting another title shot, so that's a good thing. That'll help him, especially if he can win it, you know.
Absolutely.
That'll be a big boost.
And you know I'm covering the Xander defense in Puerto Rico. You know that.
Oh, you okay? I didn't know that.
I'm just waiting. I'm just waiting for the announcement. I'm not sure. Trust me. I'm aching. I'm aching to know.
Yeah. But it's going to be in Puerto Rico, though, right?
Yes. For everything that I'm hearing, it's going to be in Puerto Rico. And as far as I know, it's going to be either Giovanni Santillan or Abbas Barao, for what I hear.
Okay.
You know?
One of them two.
Let's see. What else?
He was calling Virgil out. How do you think him and Virgil would turn out? How do you see that fight? You ran Xander and Virgil.
I got Xander all the way. The thing is that Virgil, I'm getting a little bit of, well, not a little bit, a lot upset with Virgil because, you know, you didn't fight Boots, you didn't fight Bud.
But nobody's saying that.
Yeah. And you're trying to get my boy Young, and I don't like it.
Yeah.
You know, you're trying to get him now because you know that a year from now you can't touch him. So, but no, he ain't getting that. And he's never even mentioned background, and for good reason.
Eddie Hearns said he wanted Boots' fight supposed to be this month to be Virgil, and Virgil said he wasn't ready. Nobody mentioned Duck, but they wasn't even in the same division. They was calling Boots a Duck, but the same people, you know, had crickets then. But I don't think either one of them Duck. But you know, I'm just telling people keep the same energy, you know.
Right. But not only that, I mean, you know what's funny, because he was supposed to fight Boots, and then he was quote unquote injured. I think his hand or something.
Yeah.
But then look at this. I mean, but then you got, and then he's calling out Xander. I mean, what are we doing here?
And then he tried to fight Keith Thurman. Old Keith Thurman.
Right. And he's fighting Erickson Lubin now. He's fighting Erickson Lubin.
Right. Come on, man. And then
I'm rooting for Erickson Lubin. I'll be honest.
Eddie Hearn is talking about Boots' team is doing all the talking about this matchup. Golden Boy, Oscar, and Virgil, they ain't saying nothing. You hear nothing from them. Like they don't even want to fight or something. You know? Yeah, I don't understand it. Do they want to fight?
I think, I think I'm just about done with Virgil.
Yeah, I don't understand
Um,
it, man.
and he never gave
I thought he
Boachuk the
lost
rematch
to
either. He never
I
gave
thought he
Boachuk the
lost
rematch either.
to Boachuk. Did you remember that fight, Boachuk?
Oh yeah,
He knocked
oh
him
yeah.
down twice. How did they give Virgil that fight, man? Boachuk definitely
Manny
beat him.
Manny Robles was pissed at the post fight. He was
Yeah,
he's the trainer for Boachuk.
yeah. Like, God damn, what you got to do? That was clearly robbery that time. That's robbery. Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, that was other than those two knockdowns, it was a very close fight. All the rounds were close. They were standing right there battling toe to toe most of the fight. Those two knockdowns should have been the difference in the fight. But they gave it to Virgil. I was like, what?
And I don't think he did that good against Madrimov either. I think Madrimov was sick or something, because Madrimov really waned at the second half of that fight. You know,
he said he was sick. He didn't get nowhere near the fight he did against Bud. Nowhere near. That Madrimov would have won that fight easy. Well, not easy, but he would have won it. The way he fought Bud.
Yeah.
I was thinking before they announced the decision with Bud, that Madrimov might get this fight. That was a tough fight. Him and Bud, remember? Yeah, that was a. Bud didn't look all that good in that fight. But I don't know.
I was rooting for Madrimov against Virgil, to be honest with you.
Yeah, me too. I was too.
But we'll see. I mean, we got Boots coming up. Boxing is getting. I mean, boxing is on fire right now. Yeah. To be honest with you.
The fall schedule starting to come out too. It's a couple of good fights. Cam J was talking about this morning, but I forgot what they yesterday. I forgot what they were though. We saw a couple of real good fights, man. We was talking about Crush the Legend yesterday morning. Yeah, I saw you on the camera.
Oh yeah, I loved it. I really liked it. You know, it was my first time on that.
Yeah.
I appreciate you.
Yeah. They was talking about I forgot, but it was something about they was talking about Shakur, right?
Yes.
I forgot what the conversation. They were saying he didn't fight nobody or something, but he just fought Zepeda. How's that nobody? The man was undefeated.
Yeah, only that.
So how's that nobody? I couldn't understand that. You know?
And guy who's 17-0 and with 15 KOs says he's about to fight a title eliminator to get a shot at Shakur, and everybody was like, "Oh, sorry."
Oh, you're fading out now.
I'm sorry.
You was fading out.
Oh man.
Oh, you
good better now?
Yeah.
Is it better now? Okay,
yeah.
Thank you.
He
was mentioning the name of this guy, Jadiel Herrera, that's 17-0 and 15 KOs. That's fighting
is he Cuban?
Yes, Cuban.
Okay,
that's fighting an eliminator to get the Shakur title shot, and then they were saying like, who has he beaten? I'm like, guys, when you're an up and coming fighter, you cannot really ask that question because you're not supposed to have beaten quote unquote anybody. You know, you're working your way up. I mean, what do you want?
Right. He right there between prospect and contender, so you really haven't fought no big names yet, you know? At that point in your career.
Exactly.
You're trying to start.
You're still developing, you know?
You're at the point where he's just getting ready to start fighting some names, you know? Some decent names now. Well, yeah. You can't say that. Yeah.
People just go to are really like silly, for lack of a better word, you know. So,
that's what it is.
I mean, but I enjoyed it. It was good stuff. It was real good stuff.
All things always have good panels and stuff. Y'all like listening to her panels.
She doesn't play around. She doesn't play
No,
around. She's like,
she
one at a
controls you.
time.
Right.
Yeah.
She'll tell you, shut
I,
up
I love that.
in a minute.
Yeah. She don't pull no punches, bro.
Well,
I
she's not
love
gonna
it.
let it get out. She don't let it get out of control. That's for sure. Mm-mm.
No way. And she actually, pulled them. How do you say? Pulled them backstage a couple of times because it got rowdy a couple of
Okay.
times.
Yeah,
She got pissed.
that's how you do it. When she get pulled
Absolutely.
backstage, you calm on down because you know what can happen. If you get out of control.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Give it okay to fine on it. What else you got? We're gonna get ready to get on up out of here now.
Yeah, I gotta go do something now.
Yeah.
I mean, not much. I'll see if I can watch some fights this weekend. And I apologize to you because
Yeah.
we can yet.
Oh
But
yeah.
I will. I promise
Yeah, I
you.
didn't make mine yet either.
Uh,
I'll probably do it this weekend. We're
absolutely.
supposed to make the Puerto Rican top 10, right?
Heck yeah. I'll
Yeah,
give you
do
my
mine
Puerto
this
Rican
week.
top 10
I didn't do it yet either.
between. Okay, that's gonna be interesting because we're gonna have
Yeah.
some interesting discussion there.
Okay.
And I'll give it to you between Monday and Wednesday, whichever of those days I can hop in.
Okay. Cool.
I'll do it. Okay.
Okay.
And I
I'll
hope
do
you have
mine this weekend.
I appreciate you and thank you for everything you do, bro. For real.
Okay,
And
appreciate you.
I hope you have a great weekend. Okay.
Okay.
God
You
bless.
too. Have a good weekend. All
Thank
right.
you.
That was the Fine Arnie one. Okay, we're gonna get ready to get up out of here now. We had Define Arnie one and Thomas Hill up on the panel today. Good boxing conversation. Both big time knowledgeable boxing people. And the life and career of John Pascal today. We had to cut it a little short because I started the first hour of the show. I hadn't even added myself to the screens. So about 3:00, Al Booker told me all he could hear was music. So I had to start over. But we're gonna next week is the first week, it's a Friday, so we're gonna do an active box. It's gonna be Earl the Truth Spence. But everybody have a great weekend. Appreciate everybody that came through this week. And we're gonna start another week of boxing history up Monday. Everybody have a great weekend.